City of Tshwane held an emergency meeting yesterday with representatives from Rand Water, the City of Johannesburg and the City of Ekurhuleni to address a severe strain on the Rand Water supply system, which is on the verge of collapse. Rand Water's total storage plummeted below 30% and has resulted in the closure of the Brakfontein and Rooihuiskraal supply points, affecting large parts of the City of Tshwane. We speak to the MMC for Utilities in the City of Tshwane for more on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Themba Fosi, for your time this morning. And so what is this urgent agenda item that was on the table yesterday?
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. The meeting that was held yesterday was with the technical teams of all these infected municipalities, including Rand Water, to discuss their storage capacity and the issue of the 30% that is now being we are under 30% so far as storage is concerned on Rand Water and the provision of water, which now led to our other areas in the west of Pretoria that has been shut so that they can be able to augment what other areas are leaking.
What does that mean?
That means that now it is clear and very evident that Rand Water, you would appreciate that what we've seen in Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, it is now our baby. And we felt that a need to then inform our residents that this is what is happening and should be expected. Just so that we are clear and we know where the problem is, and our residents cannot then be able to take, we cannot take responsibility as the city for what is happening.
You cannot take responsibility as a city for what is happening. What is your understanding of how we got to this point?
Unfortunately, the Rand Water, as they say, that they've been going through difficulties. I mean, the current provision of what has been happening in other municipalities leaves a lot to be desired. That's number one. And the second part is that from our side, we're taking preventative measures to make sure that either we watershed our residents so that whatever the stocks that we have now can be able to be shared across the city.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean, the preventative measures? Have you then cut water supply?
Those areas that will be throttled, and areas that will obviously to a certain extent make sure that we push also the agenda of usage of water. One being that people need to use water sparingly, making sure that they don't water their gardens, wash their cars and other uses. It should only be consumption of very important stuff, so that we can limit the high consumption to low, so that we can be able to maintain the levels that are so far.
The throttling, is it citywide or is it specific suburbs?
It's going to be citywide, unfortunately, because with what is happening now, we'd rather take a preventative measure in making sure that there's stable and constant supply of water from our side, so that no area has no water completely. So it is much more best if we do that on the citywide.
We understand that effective immediately, there's a number of inlets that have been closed. Which are they and what does that mean?
Heights and the Brakfontein, the Cassia, and as far as the Klapperkop, which is the north, east, and the center, the CBD inside of Pretoria.
You have absolved yourselves from responsibility. During the meeting with Rand Water yesterday, what is the solution? Because if you're saying you're sitting at below 30%, you need to throttle water in terms of what comes out of the taps for the consumers. What came out of the meeting in terms of the way forward?
Remember that the 30% is not on our side. It is the Rand Water storage. Supplying the City of Tshwane and obviously Ekurhuleni and City of Johannesburg. I cannot speak for Rand Water, but I can speak for Tshwane. Our reservoir levels at this point in time, they are safe, but the mere fact that Rand Water has alerted us that they are under 30%, it calls quite a lot of caution that we need to then take responsibility from our side and inform our residents to use water sparingly, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Help us understand the relationship between the City of Tshwane and Rand Water. They supply the city with water?
Yes, they do supply the city of water with water, and we have a good relationship. Both technical teams do sit out time and after time to, if there's issues of technicality that needs to be sorted out, or if there's breakages, etc., etc. They do sit out. If there's emergencies, one is the in progress break. They assisted us in progress break when we had issues. They brought in their technical teams to assist us and augment on what we have, and we managed to solve the problem with their assistance. So we do have a good relationship. But however, if they are crying for help that they are having an issue now, then it is then best, in the best of interest of our residents, then to say, please, seeing that Rainwater is going through these difficulties so far as the storage is concerned, can we as residents then assist that by using our water sparingly, use only on serious either shower or cleaning after yourself, but not watering the gardens or cleaning or washing the cars, etc., etc.
At which point did Randwater bring it to the city's attention that there is a problem? Surely this issue of being below 30% did not happen overnight. If you enjoy a close relationship, at which point was it brought to your attention that there's a problem?
Remember, on our side, we've been very healthy. I must be honest with you. At this point in time, we have been very healthy. But now with what is happening in Johannesburg and other municipalities around us, it doesn't necessarily mean that we might not go through that also ourselves. That's why I'm saying that we empowering our residents now with informing them in due time that this is the situation at Randwater. Please, let's meet them halfway by using water sparingly with what we currently have. Though our numbers are healthy, but we should not just be relaxing it and assuming that what is happening in Johannesburg might not happen in the city of Tshwane. That's why now upfront we empower residents with such information.
How long can your reserves take you? And so with the cooperation of residents, how long do you have supply for until it becomes a problem? Or are you comfortable that you can manage for the next couple of months?
This will entirely depend on the provision of Randwater. So far as I'm concerned, our reservoirs are healthy at this point in time. That is why, as I said earlier, that if you stock up water, it is going to be a problem. If you water our gardens, it's going to be a problem. If you do other manual stuff, it is going to be a problem. Water should only be used in imported stuff. That is the first part. The second part is that currently we have had a stable supply of water. We've never had a problem. The problem now emanates that what is happening around Gauteng alone. We are not oblivious that this must not happen to us. So that's why we're taking precautionary measures, because we don't want them to get to a point where our residents said, but you have been told about this, why did you not let us know? That is one. The second part is that from the city's side, we are then throttling where there's a need so that each and everyone can be able to have equal share of water or make sure that we have stable supply of water.
Fair enough. And so what we're hearing essentially is that this is indefinite. When the situation changes and you are confident between yourselves and Randwater that on their side they have capacity, you will let residents know when the situation improves.
If Randwater definitely will let us know that the situation has improved, obviously we will cascade that information to our residents. If it worsens, we will also be able to let that information to our residents.
Has Randwater indicated to you in that emergency meeting yesterday what efforts are underway to bolster the supply of water, to get themselves out of what is comfortable? Is 50% comfortable for them? Is 80% comfortable for them? And what is it that they're doing to get to that point where they feel comfortable?
Anything more than 60% is very much comfortable. And this, you should understand that, Ramela, that, as I said earlier, from our side, we are still okay. However, it's that this is a preventative way of us by letting our residents know, and obviously water shedding or even throttling our residents, so that all the stocks that we have, it goes a long way, one, and then we've got stable supply of water in each and every way.
Themba Fosi, thank you very much for your time. Themba Fosi is the MMC for utilities in the city of Tshwane.